tribute time. Anybody, and I mean anybody, who wants to give any tribute about Jack and his scouting leaders, please come forward.
Not all of them.
Yeah, not all.
Yeah, where's
Good afternoon. My name is John Spence. I didn't just randomly come up here. I actually was asked to come up here by Dennis. So thank you. And unlike my dear friend, Mr. Mudgett, Jeff, they gave me 45 minutes to talk. So, and by the way, the last thing I wanted to point out was, no, Jeff did not notice that it was about to catch on fire. I had to come up and tell him, and he said he would be ready to put it out. Well, you know, the nice thing is the architect did specify tile, which will be back to straight through wax off the floor, will be okay. I do walk around when I talk on this. I've been asked to talk about a rite of passage that we went through a couple of years ago, and it truly was a rite of passage. Five scouts, Kaz, Fisher, Kyle, who is sitting on the back row there, Mr. Walker, Jack, of course, and Logan Spence. And I would like to tell you that of those 5 boys that did this trip, which I'm going to tell you about, Kaz, Eagle Scout, Fisher, Eagle Scout, Kyle, Eagle Scout, Jack, Eagle Scout, and Logan on his way to becoming an Eagle Scout. So that tells you about this group of guys. Thank you. Before we start, this is the story of the 50-miler a foot afloat that we did a couple of years ago. And prior to this, a little history, we always heard, and Fuzzy will remember, who's in the back, we always heard about this tremendous hike that had happened in the past, the 13-mile hike, and Sam Marshall was there, and Ron Ritchie, and it was the 13-mile hike, and we all thought that was incredible. So, for those of you who are hikers, and I am a hiker, I've hiked about half the Appalachian Trail. Jack's a hiker, these boys are all hikers. You don't just jump on the trail and start hiking. If you recall, we started months ahead of time preparing. We hiked the linear trail, I think 4 or 5 times, and a couple of times the boys loaded their backpacks with books, 50, 60-pound books. So this was going to be the high adventure portion of our summer camp, and at that time I was with the older boys, and I was kind of the high adventure liaison. So they asked me to go, I got ready, I prepared, and I went. What was interesting before, Dennis and Jack have a wonderful relationship. I've always admired them. Never afraid that his son's going to get really hurt or be in a situation, but truly loves him. And he came to me and he said, I was the one going and he was going to stay at camp with the youngers. He said, take care of my son. And really what happened was Jack took care of me. So that was wonderful to know. So I remember the day we started this trip, got up real early in the morning, finished packing our packs, left some things behind. We were supposed to do 2 10-mile-a-day hikes, 2 10-milers. And that's reasonable to do. It was mountainous terrain, so that was easy to do. So we were loaded up. We had a camp leader from the scout camp that we didn't know who prepared us, and we were going to go with him. So we met him that night before, and we prepared, we set our meals, and we got going. Within about 3 or 4 hours of the trip, which had only been about half the trip, we found that they had several storms. You recall, every time there was a point to stop and get off the trail, there was a reroute. So we rerouted, and we rerouted, and we rerouted. And there was no way of telling where we were. It wasn't like the Appalachian Trail that's marked every 50 yards or so. And we knew we were on the trail. We knew we had light. We were watching, our watches. But we had to keep going because we did not know where we were on the trail or how far we needed to go. So the first sign of Jack's leadership came about 3/4 of the way through. We had already hiked maybe 16, 17 miles. We didn't know we'd hiked that far, but we knew that from the time that we had hiked, that we should have been that far. So we took a break and we looked at the map. Well, what you learn about leadership is you use the skills you've been trained with, and you try to come up with a plan. And Jack said, I believe that we can cut a couple of miles out of this trip by taking a side road, because it looks parallel, and I think it'll end up at the same place. He believed it. He believed it so much so that we all believed he believed it. And we decided Scout led, right? Scout led, boy led. So we followed, and I prepped this with Jack, and he said it was okay to share this. But we hiked about a mile and a quarter to a dead end. Literally nowhere to go. So we had to turn around and come back. We got on the trail, and we started this hike at about 7 a.m. At about 9:30 at night, okay? That's a 14-hour hike. We knew that we had gone far. We found a location that we could stop. We made a decision to stop. We'd run out of water. We found a creek, and everybody got out their straws and their filters, and we loaded up with water, and we took it for the night. We woke up the next morning, and I remember somebody popping up real early when light came out, looked around and said, "Oh my gosh, we just stopped at a campsite. We were 25 feet off of the trail of our second night's destination. We were literally that far away." And this sounds bad, and it was a high adventure, but we survived. We made it. We got there. We walked across the 25 feet into our campsite. We did it in one day. We did 21 miles in one day. For those of you who are hikers, you know that's a tough hike. That wasn't a flat Florida hike either. That was a hard hike. The boys were worn out. They were tired. They were upset. They were frustrated. They were hungry. They were everything. And they had concocted a plan to hoodwink Fuzzy into letting him have a free day. Hey, we beat it by a day. Let's take a break. So Fuzzy was called, and he came out. And he looked around and wisely looked at each boy. And I mean, we weren't missing limbs, and we weren't bleeding profusely. And he asked around, and he said, "Well, guys, you signed up for this. You actually just got a free day, so y'all need to stay here." So they were ticked. Fuzzy went back in the van, and we stayed. Well, what we didn't realize was probably for those 5 boys, it was part of the bonding experience of their life. It poured down rain all day long. And we set up this hobo village of tarps around it. And luckily, I had cards, and they learned to play every card game there was that we played all day. And what we did, we had some talks, and Jack can remember this, and Logan and Kyle. Well, when they started off, the villain was Fuzzy, and they were all mad. By the end of the day, literally, what they understood is sometimes you have to stick it out. Sometimes things come up in life, and sometimes you have to power through it and push through it. And it made us better men. So, that was in the first day. Second day, the rain. The third day was canoeing. And I'm only going to point out a couple of things, but there were a couple of things along the way that happened that are memorable. Scouting is memorable. And what you do in scouting, you carry with you. Well, we went through some pretty rough waters. I would say it was close to white waters, and we did dump our canoes fully loaded with gear 2 or 3 times. And I will say that yes, twice my canoe dumped. I'm sorry to say that. But one of the memorable things was about halfway through the first day, we were in a steep banked river. And a big tree had fallen down. We couldn't get around it. We couldn't portage it. We could go to the far end, and it was about 4 feet. How much time do I have? Because we're getting close. Okay, I'll wrap it up. But this is one of those things that these 5 boys will never forget. I don't remember who the first canoe was that got through, but we let us go one at a time. and the canoe got through, and in this tight situation, got to the other side, and the other canoes were there, and they looked back and they said, the largest snake we've ever seen will be watching you and be about 2 feet away from you. So be careful and be quiet. We had nowhere to go. We couldn't get up the slope. We couldn't get around. You remember the snake? And it was a water snake. And it was 2-3 feet long, but it was fat. And as you came around, it was almost like a horrifying nightmare. He was right there watching. We quietly got around. And we did it. And no one got attacked by the snake. Everything went well. We did 3 days of canoeing. We found along the way, 2 different times, we found a couple of good old boys fishing out of the back of a pickup truck on the side of the river. And I talked them out of, Fuzzy, I'm sorry, talked them out of some Coca-Colas and Gatorades, and we loaded up the boys and we went on. Jack, what I saw in you, as well as the 5 boys, and 3 of them are here today, was just quality scouting, and getting to really use the younger boys who haven't done high adventure. Do it. This is the kind of stuff that happens. We had a boat run aground on rocks, and it tore a hole in it. How many times have they told you, bring duct tape? Oh, come on, duct tape? We duct taped a hole in a canoe that would have sunk, and we used it for 2 more days. So that worked. Anyway, I was blessed to be with the boys. I enjoyed it immensely. It is one of my memories, and Jack, you're one of my memories. And the last thing I will tell you is that the other thing that's very nice about it is Jack is actually my cashier at my Publix. And I get to see him. Jack, thank you very much.